Lately, it seems like nothing but violent games have been worked their way down the Stormgate Productions pipeline. Games that had to be labeled mature to ward off the young and misguided. But I'd like to explore the definition of mature. According to the SRB, mature individuals do drugs, kill, and fornicate. They mean to protect teens from these extraordinarily violent games when teens are the only ones interested in these extraordinarily violent games. I play these games, but I'm certainly not mature. I might be buying a house, but I'm the biggest goofball you'll ever meet. But if I choose to continue to play these games, perhaps I should be injecting a little more maturity into the videos. Come on.
Mortal Kombat on the Sega Genesis. Were you expecting a different console? And for our longtime viewers, you now know the other Sega Genesis game I own. Been waiting about 3 years for that. Originally released as an arcade game in 1992, Mortal Kombat made its way to home consoles the next year, and is partially why we have the ESRB today. Heh, Midway. How quaint. Well, I haven't played this game in years. I forgot there were only 7 fighters and... oh my god, it looks like ass! Happens every time I go back to old games. But the funny thing is, Mortal Kombat was revered as a photorealistic game because the game artist used actors as the fighter sprites. Lesson here? Never say photorealistic. There's always room in the uncanny valley. Mortal Kombat doesn't try to hide behind the title. That's what it is, a game where you just beat your opponent to death. Where's the blood? I remember lots of blood. Oh right, on the Sega Genesis you can enter a code, ABACABB, and then you have it! Aside from the pseudo-photorealism, Mortal Kombat stood out because of its overly violent nature, including the concept of fatalities, a gratuitous finishing move. In this situation, I refuse to discuss my opinion of the game. You see, the dichotomy facing other living room reviewers when playing classic games is to give it merit while critiquing. Yeah, I know it's quite possibly the greatest game of all time, but I don't understand why characters are tall in battle and short in the overworld. What I can offer you is a quote from my brother when he was playing the game. The game cheated. The game cheated! The game cheated! The Mortal Kombat games were so impossibly hard to us because we didn't know any of the special moves, much less fatalities. Now that I'm all grown up and I got that cable internets, I'm able to see what I was missing. I can harpoon and freeze and fatality with the best. Sorry, I'm just so proud I did all of this. I know showing all the fatalities is hardly modest, and won't happen again. Maybe the game doesn't cheat. Wasn't there another game released with the same name? Of course, Mortal Kombat on the Game Boy! Oh wow, it's bad. Now that's a little unfair. Maybe it's better as a handheld.
Nope.
Terrible! Okay, I've wasted enough time. Mortal Kombat 9 for the PlayStation 3. Now, how exactly did I come to playing this game? You may have thought after the Street Fighter 4 video that I had swore off all these one-on-one fighting games, and you would be correct. All I said was it wasn't my kind of game, and just because I didn't see Jesus while playing, fans were ready to set my house on fire. So why would I invite myself to the torch of another fighting game and the comments to proceed? Well, much like Odin's Sphere, a friend forced me into borrowing it. This should get interesting. According to my never correct research, Mortal Kombat 9 is a franchise reboot, and is intended to redo the story of the first 3 Mortal Kombat games. Wait, there was a story? I knew there was a tournament, but good guys, bad guys, I could never tell. We're all committing homicide. Mortal Kombat is a tournament set up by the Elder Gods to keep the separate realms from merging. Never mind all this other junk on the menu. Tell me how to play the game. Alright, that's how you walk and jump. Knock some teeth out. Special move, extra special, brutal X-ray attack, and we're done. Now we don't have to look like such a fool saying I can't do Hadouken. I don't think the gameplay requires much explanation. You pick the character with the nicest abs, learn the special moves, and spam that attack until the boss falls over. I chose story mode after the tutorial because Challenge Tower sounded like a Boom Blox level of annoying completionism. In the Mortal Kombat story, Lord Raiden and the Earthrealm fighters compete against Shang Tsung and the Outworld fighters in the Mortal Kombat tournament. If Outworld wins this tournament, the Emperor Shao Kahn takes over Earthrealm. If Earthrealm wins, they get the status quo. That seems like a raw deal. Anyway, the campaign is less about moving through the ranks and more about the side stories of those involved. It's a story mode, about what you would expect from Mortal Kombat. You do about 5 matches with a character, then switch, forced to learn different combinations for each. But there's one glaring flaw. I'm beginning to like it a lot. With that thought, let's return to the subject of maturity. There's maturity in the biological sense, there's maturity in government bonds, and then there's maturity on the internet.
You disagree with me. Go kill yourself.
So in what sense could anyone mature enjoy this game? Well, I think it reaches far back to fulfill a primal instinct for dominance, to best an opponent, in a fantasy world of super violent unrealism. And if all you need to do is back, forward, circle to see a bicycle kick, you can streamline that satisfaction. I suppose it is reverse maturity that justifies my non-maturity. After learning how to properly time Mortal Kombat attacks, I beat story mode. There is no difficulty selection, so finishing it at the given difficulty means I'm not totally inept to fighting games. I wandered back to the challenge tower because my forceful friend talked quite positively about it. This mode is a set of near-random fighting sequences with varied restrictions. Here are a few notable challenges. Challenge 13, Johnny Cage fights his stuntman. Challenge 55, Sub-Zero fights zombies. Challenge 61, Mr. Bucket, put your balls on my top. Challenge 85, you have no arms. Challenge 113, impossible. Challenge 121, it's just funny to watch. Challenge 150, you play as Goro. Yes, it is awesome. At the time of writing, I was at Challenge 100, but at the time of this voiceover, I was closer to Challenge 150. What did I say earlier? Annoying completionism. Damn it, I knew that was gonna happen. Please, don't read into my love for Mortal Kombat too much. Just because I found a fighter that I can digest doesn't mean I'm gonna be stepping on someone's chest to get to the next Tekken or Soul Calibur. Fighters are not my forte, and I have zero business talking shop about a genre I don't care much about in the first place. Honestly, if it isn't Mario or Burnout, it's out of my jurisdiction. To paraphrase, if you don't like Lars von Trier, then just don't watch his movies. I didn't touch the normal fight mode because I didn't feel like tempting fate. I had enough fun to form a positive opinion, and I decided to stop there. The game probably cheats anyway. As a sort of update on Street Fighter 4, I did return to the game for a short time under the encouragement of Sarah. I figured out the spinning bird kick and cleared arcade mode on very easy. But those ultra combos? Whew, the gods have not blessed me with such skill. There is one more entity by the name of Mortal Kombat, and that, of course, is the 1995 film Mortal Kombat. Video game movies are bad, I know, right? Say what you want about video game movies, but when it was new, the film was widely praised for sticking to the point of Mortal Kombat. I only recently got around to watching it, and seeing how it holds up today, well...
That track is also in the Mortal Kombat soundtrack. One of the greatest movies...
Never.
Ever. I really loved part 1 until I watched it about a year ago, and I was like, wow, it was so terrible.
Glad I got that out of the way. Now, coming up with a personal quote is a bit difficult. When you play nothing but high-profile games, saying it has great production value gets a bit old. Still, I don't want to say I like it, but that's a fluke. Perhaps the only proper thing left to say is... Phew! I got through this entire video without mentioning Super Smash Bros. Oh wait, can't you play as Kratos in the PlayStation 3 version?